Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I am the Sci-Fi Horror Guy. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and welcome back to another Top 10 video. I have a lot of ideas for Top 10s, let me tell you, actually a whole page, which I'm going to discuss with you in the next video, probably called Upcoming Top 10s or something like that, so stay tuned. But today's idea came to me when I was looking through my collection, and I picked out all of my favorite witch films. Films that have to do with witches or urban legends of witches or witchcraft. And they come from different genres. Not only horror, but comedy, family films, doesn't matter. As long as they deal with witches in some, shape or form. But I came up with my top 10 as well as one honorable mention. And I just want to say before I start, if you want to do a response, list your top 10 favorite witch films, please do so. I love hearing your answers. If you want to do them in the comments, that's fine too, but if you want to make a video, please do. That'd be awesome. Your top 10 favorite witch films. Alright, let's get into the honorable mention. I think this film came out in 2001 or 2002. It was released by Echo Bridge here on Blu-ray, which I got at Big Lots, and it stars Kirstie Alley and Alan Bates, and it is the Salem Witch Trials, the most famous witch hunt of all time. Now, I remember seeing this back in the day. It was on TV, actually, and I remember liking it. I actually only seen it one time, and I should revisit this film soon, because it got me interested when I was looking through all my witch films. I'm like, I haven't seen this in a while, but I remember liking it. So I'm going to put this as an honorable mention, the Salem Witch Trials. Alright, now let's go from 10 to 1 as my favorite witch films. Number 10, this should be no surprise, but I don't really need to say anything about this movie because it's an ultimate classic. Bette Midler, that should give it away. Sarah Jessica Parker, that should give it away. And it is Hocus Pocus. Horror comedy, don't really need to talk about this movie. It's an instant classic. Everyone pretty much knows about Hocus Pocus. And I don't have this on Blu-ray, which I'm really kicking myself. I don't know why I don't have it, but whatever. Number 10 is Hocus Pocus. Number 9 is a movie that it scarred me for life when it came to being afraid of witches. Because the witch in this, seeing this when I was a kid, that's what did it. It did it. The Wizard of Oz. Probably one of the greatest films ever. The most classic, the most popular. Margaret Hamilton was the ultimate witch. She had the laugh. Every time she spoke, I got afraid. How about a little fire, Scarecrow, when she throws a fireball at him and lights him on fire? The woman is evil. When she melts, oh my God. She wants Dorothy's ruby slippers, she'll stop at nothing to get them. Glenda don't do nothing. You click your heels. It's just like... The Wicked Witch would tear her apart. The Wicked Witch of the West, one of the scariest witches. I mean, even to this day, I think this movie holds up with her being the Wicked Witch. Like, I think she does such a fantastic job, and she's irreplaceable. You just cannot make it any better. She was the classic all-time witch. And, yeah, just one of the greatest movies, too. The Wizard of Oz. Man. I want those slippers. Give them back to me. Give them back. Coming in at number 8 is a movie that probably not too many people have heard of. It has Nicole Eggert. I don't know how you say her name. Eggert? Nicole Eggert? Like eggs? Eggerts? It's got Maria Ford in it. And it's from, I believe, Edgar Allan Poe's tale, and it's called The Haunting of Morella. Basically about a witch. Well, it's a young woman who is fights against being possessed by her dead mother, or her wicked mother, so to say. Wants to take over her body and be young again. But she's she was guilty of witchcraft and stuff. It's a really, I want to say that there's some creepy moments in this, and I think what really makes this movie stand out is the effects. I think the makeup effects and all that stuff were really, really good. There's a lot of nudity, and there's a lot of sex in this, but I think the makeup, just overall, like there's a photo right there where she's on top of a guy. When she starts to come back to life, her skin starts to, kind of, there's like blood and everything. It's really, really good. I remember seeing this at a young age, but yeah, I have to say The Haunting of Morella, definitely a film to check out if you have not seen it. That comes in at number 8. Number 7 is a movie that stars Robin Tunney, Neve Campbell, Rachel True, and that is The Craft. What more can I say about this film? These high school outsiders learn witchcraft, and people that bully them, they get back at them and cast spells and all that stuff, and Robin Tunney pretty much goes her own way. Pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. There's some scenes that kind of disturb me, like with Neve Campbell and her back. Like her back is all burned and like messed up, and like the doctor sitting there poking at her, and like there's like dead skin, and that part just, those parts where she's at the doctor and stuff just really, I just don't like that. But yeah, The Craft, pretty good movie. That comes in at number 7. Number 6 is a movie that I probably guarantee most of you have never heard of, and there's been so many adaptations from this children's story. I think this is one of the better adaptations, starring Dee Wallace, and is Hansel and Gretel. This is an actual Hansel and Gretel horror film. It's not like Hansel and Gretel the Witch Hunters, where it's like Jeremy Renner and they're like, it's like, that's more like an action film. This is a straight up horror film. Dee Wallace plays the witch and lures young kids, well, I want to say almost like high school age. She lures kids to her house, the gingerbread house or whatever, and they lock them up in the basement and feed them treats. Feed them donuts and sweets and stuff to make them plump and fat. And they actually grab this one fat chick, drag her off. They basically tie her up and put her in the oven alive. And they burn her alive and cook her alive. And they serve meat later on, and it's from that woman. And Dee Wallace, the witch, she makes her own meat pies. She calls them her famous meat pies and serves them to the public, and that's obviously, human body, human meat. It's just, it's a really good horror film. I really like the children's tale turned horror film. Like, it's just really, really good. So this is definitely one of the greater ones. That comes in at number 6. Number 5 is a terrifying movie. I still think it holds up very, very well. And it deals with a witch that... This is a witch on another level, claiming to be a tooth fairy, but it's still about, her being a witch that goes after the kids and stuff. And it is Darkness Falls. Now, of course, this is the movie where, she goes after the kids. Like, if you stay in the light, you're pretty much safe. I think her name's Matilda, the Tooth Fairy, but she stays in the dark. If you're in the dark, you're in trouble. She has like this porcelain mask thing, and when if she takes that off, you can see like her face is really creepy. I don't know if it has a picture of it. Oh, right there. It's creepy stuff, man. This is a creepy movie. Like the whole beginning with the kid like hiding under the covers, and like there's something coming in. The woman comes into his room in the dark, and like it's just one of those under the cover things where I used to do that as a kid too when I'm scared. Go under the covers, and you're afraid to you know, if you pull the covers down and look, like there's going to be someone there staring at you. Well, that actually happens in this movie. Like, she's just staring right at him, and it's one of those things that you think would happen, but you know, in reality it never does. You just think that in your mind, but in this movie it's reality. So that's a good one. Coming in at number 4 is probably one of the Rob Zombie films that I consider to be criminally underrated, and this was actually a damn good movie, and it is The Lords of Salem. And again, Dee Wallace has a pretty good part in this, but it deals with this weird music that plays and like these witches, and Sherry Moon Zombie, I think her portrayal in this was like one of the better portrayals that she's done in a Rob Zombie flick. Even though I do like her as Baby Firefly, I did not like her portrayal at all in Halloween. I didn't like the trailer trash aspect, but she was really good in this one. And again, I think this is underrated criminally. I think this is one of the better Rob Zombie films, and I think Rob Zombie should stick to this kind of stuff when he does movies. I think, you know, House of 1,000 Corpses and this are some of the most original films, you know, that he's done. So, Lords of Salem, definitely number 4. Coming in at number 3 is a movie that blew me away. Takes place in the 1630s, and the time period, the way people talk in this movie is kind of reminiscent to how they talked, I guess, back then. It's almost like theatrical, like if you were watching like a play or something like that. But it's so well done. The cinematography, it's a beautiful film. Cinematography it's some of the most unsettling camera work, with the far shots and the creepy panning and all that stuff, and it is The Witch. This movie is crazy. Ellie Granger is in this, Lucas Dawson, let's see, Anya Taylor-Joy, of course you know her from Split, and she was in Glass as well. She did a fantastic job. The witches in this movie, or there's this one witch that they kind of focus on who runs around naked. She steals babies, and then she there's this creepy part where the boy goes into the woods and he sees this house, and like the witch comes out of the house, and she's like a young woman, like a hot big-breasted woman, and she goes up to him and she like smiles, but it's really, you know, that's really just what he sees. It's not really her. And then this goat, that's, I guess, is supposed to be the devil or something. This movie's crazy. It is crazy, and it's so realistic. This movie's awesome. Coming in at number 2 is definitely one of my favorite family films, and honestly, this movie holds up. This is one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen, and I think it affected me as a kid to where I have goosebumps now, even talking about it. And it is The Witches with Angelica Houston. For a kid's movie, this is pretty violent, and let me just explain. This is a movie about grown women kidnapping kids. They even show it. Oh, a girl's walking down the alleyway, and this woman comes out and grabs her and drags her away. Kidnaps her. They kill kids in this movie. Turn kids into mice, and then they squash the mice. They kill them. They try to kill them. Crazy. Great effects, great costume designs, great makeups. Everything about this movie is just awesome. I love this movie. It's creepy. Some of the creepiest scenes when they talk about Erica, the girl who goes missing, and she gets locked in the painting. They see her in the painting, and she moves in the painting. Even though she's motionless, one day she'll be here, then the next day she'll be here, the next day she'll be here. And she gets older. As the years go by, she's still in the painting getting older, then one day she's just gone. Look at can you see the goosebumps? Look at the goosebumps on me, okay? Look at the goosebumps. Whenever I talk about that scene, as a kid, it freaked me out. I had to look away. I had to just do this. Sometimes I wouldn't even listen to it when she tells the story. It's the creepiest stuff, dude. Creepiest story. This movie is awesome. We're finally getting a Blu-ray release of this. Coming up, I believe, at the end of this month. Finally. I love this movie. If you have not seen The Witches, you are missing out. You better not remake this movie. I heard they are, and I don't want that to happen. Coming in at number 1 should be no surprise. This movie is fantastic. It's definitely my favorite found footage movie, and it's one of the creepiest films I've ever seen that has to do with witches, and it is The Blair Witch Project. Hands down, my favorite witch film or movie about a witch or a legend of a witch. The cool thing about this movie is they don't even show the witch. They do not have to show the witch. That's what made this movie work, in my opinion. It worked. I will defend this film. I think this movie is just one of the best. It's the best realized. It's like a good vision of a supernatural horror film come to life through found footage, or a documentary, so to say. The actors in this went through hell. I mean, they were out in the cold, in the rain, and they weren't really told what to do other than just sit there where they're supposed to be. And through the night there was noises and things happening, and they wanted their real reactions while they were out there. The crew and the director were messing with them all the time. This movie's unbelievable, and I know a lot of people were turned off because it wasn't real. So what? All movies aren't real. Movies aren't real. Do you think they're going to actually release, you know, that was part of the marketing. I mean, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was real. It did its job. That was the point of this. It did its job. Making you think it was real. Hell, people could think Cannibal Holocaust is real because of the real... People actually did. People thought Cannibal Holocaust was real. And then they went to... a lot of them got fined and even banned the film and even went to jail because they thought a lot of the deaths that happened in that movie were real. But it's not real. The film doesn't have to be real to be scary. And that's, you know, at least in my opinion, it don't have to be. I think the effects were great, or as far as it affecting a person thinking it was real, I thought it did its job. It was great. I thought the actors were, I want to say, normal. They acted normal, like they were cussing and laughing at times. They weren't being over the top. I just think all the lines were great. And it was like real-time reactions, and I think that's what made this movie work. When you watch found footage movies now, it's like they're trying way too hard to act like something's going on, and I just don't think it works too well. The Blair Witch Project is definitely unique in its own way, and I think it's one of the scariest witch adaptations, or one of the scariest movies about a witch. So The Blair Witch Project is my #1 favorite witch film. So there you go. My top 10 favorite witch films. What are your top 10 favorite witch films? Let me know either in the comments or make a video. I would really love to see a video, if you can, of your top 10 favorite witch films. So, stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to talk about some top 10 ideas and, you know, some stuff that's going to be coming up soon that I'm actually going to be working on. So, stay tuned for that video. This is Rob. Hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more content. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. And stay tuned. See you next time.